Robert Greenwald, Brave New Films. Good to have you with us here on the Ed Schultz Radio Show. Robert, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be with you, Ed.
What do you make of Romney cleaning up in the Hamptons financially? I mean, the bottom line is these people want something in return, right?
Well, exactly, Ed, and that's the important point, and you made it, and I was pleased to see the DNC quoted you when they put out their video, that this is a purchase. The Kochs and the one-percenters who are giving to Romney are purchasing something. They're trying to purchase policy that will make them even more money. And I think it's important that we stay aware of that, whether it's buying tax cuts or buying subsidies for big oil or buying protections so that they can do whatever they want with the environment. It's dollar in and many dollars out, and that's what's going on.
Well, what do the Koch brothers really want? Do they just want Romney to be president and to deregulate stuff for their industries, or do they want to control things? I mean, do they really want somebody in there that they can cash whip and get whatever they want? I mean, would they be so grandiose to think that they could run the government?
Well, I don't know that that's grandiose, Ed. I mean, we're seeing the policies that Romney and most of the presidential candidates adopt are coming from Koch think tanks. You know, on our full-length film, Koch Brothers Exposed, as you know, we spent a year and a half researching this, and over again we saw incidents where the Kochs would subsidize a particular political position. Sometimes it would seem crazy, sometimes it would seem extreme, sometimes it would be far out there. And then over the years or over a period of time, you'd see one politician after another who they're also giving money to adopting that policy. And that's the problem when you have money in politics running our government. This is legal, but they are paying for what they want, how they want it. And, of course, I don't know if you saw some of the quotes from people who attended the Romney thing were quite something. You know, this one woman that the Maeve Reston in the L.A. Times quoted said, "I don't think the common person is getting it. We've got the message, but my college kids, the babysitters, the nails ladies, everybody who's got the right to vote, they don't understand what's going on. I just think if you're lower income, you're not as educated and don't understand how it works." These are the supporters.
They really are. And when they make the comment that these lower income people don't understand what's going on, no, they understand what's going on. They just know they can't do anything about it. And, you know, there's a petition out there to overturn Citizens United. And Senator Sherrod Brown and Al Franken are urging people to sign this petition. There are now a number of states, I think New Mexico and Vermont and a number of them, that are going down the road of Citizens United to try to repeal it. Is this a good campaign issue? I mean, if you go up to a wage earner in America and you say, "Hey, do you know what Citizens United is?" I would venture to say that most people don't.
No, I think you're right about that, and I think the problem is, even if they've heard about it, what we have not done an effective enough job yet, those of us who are working on messaging and working on getting the word out there, is we haven't made clear to people that the very fact that their home is underwater, that they don't have health care, and that they don't have a job, these are directly, specifically related to money and politics. And we need to make that a visceral, clear, emotional connection so that it can and will become a voting issue. But we haven't achieved that by far yet. We've got a lot of work to do.
I mean, if you don't have Citizens United, you don't have these fundraisers at this level, correct?
Well, you still had a pretty obscene system, even pre-Citizens United. You know, there were all kinds of crazy fundraisers going out. What you didn't have is literally hundreds of millions of dollars coming into the system, and you don't know where it's coming from. So that what we're seeing, and it's going only to get more disgusting, is lies, distortions, with no responsibility. Now, some journalists are doing some great work in digging through tax records and pointing out that, you know, there are lots of corporations who are giving money in a hidden way. But Citizens United is the worst part of a system that is essentially hurting our democracy in profound ways.
Where do the Kochs really make their money?
Well, my first response, I don't mean to be glib, is where don't they make their money? I mean, they have a huge number of interests. They are the second largest private held company. They are each worth, 20, 25, 27 billion dollars. So for them, Ed, to give a couple of $100 million is, like somebody else giving $5 or $10, literally, if you look at it as a percentage. So they make money in all kinds of industries, but their main source, as far as we know, and again, it's hard to know all the details because they do keep it hidden, is in oil-related products, and they've made enormous sums there. It's one of the reasons that they give, and again, we saw this in the research for the Koch brothers exposed film. They literally are buying the House Energy Committee. They literally are buying policy in so many different ways to protect their profitability and to increase their profitability.
So they would probably bankroll the campaigns of those who are on those committees that would give them favorable rulings on issues.
Well, that's exactly what they do. And again, we have a couple of sections in in the film where we show that, and it's very clear. You see the amounts of money they give to these candidates, that we know about, and then some that we don't know about. Of course, it's legal, but we don't know about it. And then you see these candidates and these elected officials word for word speaking stuff that comes from Koch brothers funded think tanks. And that's what you're up against. That's what we are up against. That's what the American people are up against when you have so much money coming into the system. And it's, as you've said, Ed, it's a very, very important point. It's money that is trying to buy something. It's not money for a better democracy or a fairer country or universal health care.
Robert Greenwald, Brave New Films. The website is?
KochBrothersExposed.com, and you can get the full-length film. You can also see the tons of money the Kochs are spending attacking me all over the Internet these days with all kinds of name-calling. But I'm happy to report that hundreds and thousands of people are buying the film and screening it.
What are they doing to you?
Well, they've taken these ads out, Ed, and I'm laughing because my daughter said to me the other day, she said, "Pop, every time I go online, I see your beady eyes," was the way she described it. They have a photo of me, and it's this technology where if you go to Kochfax or you go to our website, it then follows you around with these little links saying, left-wing fringe filmmaker and other names that they're trying to call. The reason they're spending so much money on the attack ads is because the media is not listening to essentially their distortions and justifications for what they're doing. And it's truly bothering them that thousands and thousands of people are screening the film in libraries, in schools, in churches, in homes. And that's what we can do. That's how democracy really can work.
They're really global warming deniers, aren't they?
Well, I think they're even more than that, Ed. If you trace back, the tragedy with global warming, there was a period of time when most of the country and all candidates, Republicans and Democrats, said this is a serious threat we need to deal with. The Koch brothers, not alone, but I think predominantly went to work because the threat of they didn't want to do anything that would hurt their economic self-interest. They went to work. They started putting more and more money into campaigns to raise doubt about global warming. And now you have, I think, half the country is not sure that it really exists. That's a profound shift from a few years ago, and it's a shift that we can connect. That they're spending money, they're propagandizing, they're buying scientists, and they're using all of their resources to raise doubt among the public.
Robert, great to have you with us. Thanks so much. Great work.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ed.
Robert Greenwald here on the Ed Schultz Radio Show. Brave New Films. No question about it. They do fantastic work on the part of democracy and people's rights. 1-877-934-6833. I have so much time for you when we come back. Here where America comes to talk, the Ed Schultz Show.